Hello, good morning everyone. So we will try to continue our next topic in differential equation. So the topics that we are going to discuss here is two, that is your first order linear differential equation as well as your Bernoulli differential equation. But for now, let us try to discuss what is first order differential equation. Okay, so first order linear differential equation is an equation in the form y prime plus p of x y is equals to q of x, which is yan yung maging basis natin to become the standard form for your first order linear differential equation. In order for us to get the general solution of a specific equation, kapag first order linear differential equation, yung process na gagamitin natin, always remember that we need to satisfy this standard form. Okay, so where the value of your p and q are function of x, an equation that is written that is called in the standard form. Therefore, your p of x and the q of x, the function of that one should be in a variable of x only. Okay, so you have y prime plus p of x, y, and q of x. Again, p of x and q of x is in a function of variable x only. So you have here your integrating factor, okay, that is in a formula of u of x is equals to e raised to the antiderivative of your p of x dx. Okay, what we're going to do, or ano yung kinakailangan natin to solve for your integrating factor is to identify which is the value of your p of x. And I've said earlier na in order for us to solve the first order linear differential equation, we need to rearrange that one into standard form. So kapag naka-standard form na yung equation natin, it is very easy for us to know what is the value for your p of x. Okay? So you have here the formula that we are going to use to get the general solution of the equation, that is in y is equals to 1 over u over x, u of x times the antiderivative of u of x dx. Okay? So ito yung magiging formula natin in order for us to get your general solution of the equation. So yung u of x natin, that is your integrating factor, we need to solve that one. Okay? We need to locate what is your p of x. So your q of x will be on the other side of the equation. So going back the principles of your calculus, no, these are some of the principles or some of the formulas that we are going to use while we are going to solve your first order linear differential equation. Okay, so kindly take down notes of this one. Okay, so let us try to solve an, an example for your first order linear differential equation. So again, we need to satisfy the standard form in order for us to solve this one. Yeah, this is your integrating factor and this is your equation to solve for your general solution. So example, given that you have y prime minus 2 over x, y is equals to x. So in this form, this is already a standard form. So take note that it is not necessary what would be the sign between your derivative and your p of x. As long as the arrangement, mauuna yung first order derivative natin, next would be your p of x, equate natin sa q of x. So it doesn't matter if that is positive or negative. What we are concerned here is the positioning of our values. So for this example, you have y prime minus 2 over xy. This is a standard form. Okay? So kapag na-sure na natin that your equation is in standard form, no, we are now going to locate what is your p of x and your q of x. Okay? So for this one, your p of x is equals to negative 2 over x. So take note, carry over natin, what is the nature of your p of x? Okay? Your q of x would be equivalent to x. So as a definition ng value ng p and q natin a while ago, that should be in a function of x. So since we already know what is the function of your p of x and your q of x, we are now going to your integrating factor. Again, that is the formula of e raised to the antiderivative of p of x dx. So since we already know that your p of x is equivalent to negative 2 over x, so this simply means that that is e raised to the antiderivative of negative 2 over x dx. Okay? So, next thing na gagawin natin is i-integrate lang natin siya. And I believe 1 over x is equivalent to ln of x also. And I think this is the thing na napag-usapan na natin, no? So that is negative 2 ln of x. Okay, in order to simplify that one, now you have a rule here or you have a principle here that r ln x is also equivalent to ln x of r. So simplifying, you will be having e raised to ln x raised to negative 2. So to simplify that one, e raised to ln, that would be cancelled. Okay, already know that one. So, ibig sabihin, your u of x or your integrating factor is equivalent to x raised to negative 2. So, tapos na tayo sa standard form, tapos na tayo sa integrating factor. So, what we are going to do here is to solve for the general solution na natin. No? So, again, you have a formula of y is equals to 1 over u of x times the antiderivative of your q of x, u of x, dx. So, apply lang natin siya. No? What are the values? So, first is 1 over x raised to negative 2 times the antiderivative of x, since your q of x value is a variable of x, multiplied by your u of x, which is x raised to negative 2. So before we simplify our answer, before we integrate this equation, we need to simplify muna. Okay, so first is let us try to multiply x times x raised to negative 2, and let us try to reciprocate the first term, no, para mas madali natin siyang ma-simplify. So, you have y is equals to x raised to 2. 'Di ba? Kapag i-inverse function tayo, na mababago yung orientation ng exponent natin. If you have 1 over x raised to negative 2, kapag i-reciprocate natin siya, magiging x raised to 2. So, what if naman you have x raised to 2? Gusto ko siyang i-reciprocate into a fraction form. Ibig sabihin, yung exponent niya, if this is positive, gagawin natin, magiging negative lang yung exponent natin. Okay, I hope you remember that one. Okay, next is you will have multiplied by the antiderivative of x raised to negative 1 of dx. Saan to nanggaling? Diba? As I've told you earlier, we need to simplify x times x raised to negative 2. So that is just basically x raised to 1 plus negative 2. Kasi kapag same yung base ng ating variables, no, ang gagawin natin is i-add lang natin yung exponent. So that is equivalent to x raised to negative 1. So let us try to integrate that, no, that function, and that would be equivalent to, pwede din natin siyang i-reciprocate, no, based na napag-usapan natin kanina. If you have x raised to negative 1, that could be also 1 over x, which is mas easy sa atin na i-integrate yung ganitong form. Okay? And 1 over x, ang kanyang integration or the antiderivative of that one is equivalent to ln x. Therefore, that is equivalent to y is equals to x squared ln of x. Take note, nag-integrate tayo. Therefore, you have plus c. Okay? So to summarize our answer, your general solution for the given problem is y is equals to x squared quantity ln of x plus c. And that is your general solution by the use of your first order differential equation. Let us try another example. Find the general solution of quantity x raised to 5 plus 3y quantity of dx is equals to x of dy. So kapag ganito, yung gagawin natin, it is not in the standard form pa. Tama? Why? It's because your standard form requires a derivative. So dito wala pa tayong derivative dito. It's because your dx and dy is hindi magkasama. No, they're not completely a derivative itself. So what we are going to do here is let us try to rearrange your equation para masatisfy natin yung standard form ninyo. So paano ba tayo nakakabuo ng derivative? Diba your y prime that is in prime notation, kapag sinulat natin siya into Leibniz notation, that should be dy over dx. So any idea, ano yung gagawin natin in order for us a dy over dx? Basically, we will try to divide both sides, no? Yun yung sinabi ko kanina. Let us try to divide both sides by x dx. no? Bakit x dx? Kasi gusto kong tanggalin itong variable of x dito, no? 'Di ba? When you have dy over dx, that is a derivative. So tama na tayo, meron na tayong y prime. But the problem is that should be y prime alone only. So wala siyang variable of x or any function variable natin. Kaya gusto ko siyang tanggalin by dividing that one into x. Okay? So x divided by x, that is cancelled. Therefore, you have dy over dx. Dx divided by dx, that would be equivalent to 1. So, pwede din natin siyang tanggalin. So, basically, yung mangyayari dito, that is x raised to 5 plus 3y over 3 is equals to dy over dx. So, my question is, na-satisfy na ba natin yung standard form? Ito yung standard form natin. The answer is no. No, kasi wala pa tayong p of x along with your dy over dx. So, kinakailangan natin hanapin pa yung value ng inyong, tawag niyan, value ng yung p of x and ng q of x ninyo. Okay? So, let us try to simplify na bakit naging ganito ito. Diba you have x raised to 5 plus 3y over x is equals to dy over dx. So, itong term na to, pwede natin siyang i-separate. It's because there's an operation in between. So, you have x raised to 5 over x plus 3y over x is equals to dy over dx. So, simplifying, no, kapag nagde-divide tayo ng same base natin, so ima-minus lang natin yung exponent. So that is x raised to 5 minus 1, that is equivalent to x raised to 4 plus 3 of x, y is equals to dy over dx. Ito na yung nakikita ninyo. So my question is that a standard form already? The answer is no. Okay? Kasi hindi pa natin nalolocate what is the value of your p of x. So what we are going to do here, as you can see, na your p of x contains a y variable. So malamang sa malamang, ito yung magiging value ng p of x natin. So what we are going to do is transpose this p of x on the other side of the equation to satisfy your standard form. Therefore, i-rearrange ko to, you will be having dy over dx is minus, no, kasi that is positive. You have 3 of x, y is equals to x raised to 4. In this case, no, by this time, this is already your standard form. So therefore, we did satisfy the principle of your first order linear differential equation. Okay? So by this, no, na-satisfy na natin yung standard form ninyo. Let us try to locate your p of x and your q of x. No, by this form, your p of x is negative 3 over x and your q of x is equivalent to x raised to 4. So for your integrating factor, that is e raised to p of x dx. So let us try to transpose this one. The same concept a while ago, no? Which is your 1 over x is equivalent to ln of x. Therefore, we can conclude that that is equivalent to u of x is equals to e raised to negative 3 ln of x. And by the rule of r ln x is equals to ln x over ln x raised to r, that would be e ln x raised to negative 3. Okay? So, simplifying e and ln, kapag minultiply natin, that would be eliminated or equal to 1. So, x raised to negative 3 or kapag nireciprocal natin or consider natin yung inverse function, that is equivalent to 1 over x cubed. Okay? So, going sa ating equation to get your general solution, so this will be your equation. So the same concept kanina, let us try to simplify your equation before we will try to integrate. So x raised to 4 multiplied by x raised to negative 3, that would be equivalent to the value of x only. Very good. So what I did dito, no, ito is nireciprocate ko 1 over x raised to negative 3 if we did consider the inverse function that is equivalent to x cubed. Okay, so simplifying, you will be having y is equals to x cubed quantity x squared over 2 plus c. Plus c since nag-integrate tayo ng variable x ninyo. So let us try to distribute this one. Okay, So, kasi pwede naman. That would be y is equals to x raised to 5 over 2 plus c. Okay? So, to generalize, no, we can conclude that your general solution for this given problem is equivalent to x raised to 5 over 2 plus c x raised to 3. And that is your general solution. So, what is the idea of your first order linear differential equation? Is very easy lang, no? It is just you need to satisfy the standard form. Hahanapin nyo lang yung p of x, hahanapin nyo lang yung q of x ninyo. And that's it. Makukuha na natin yung general solution ninyo. So, you need to apply your learnings also during your Calculus 1 and your Calculus 2 in order for us to solve for your general solution. Okay? So, ano na tayo dito? Let us talk about your Bernoulli differential equation. Your Bernoulli differential equation is somehow the same sa principle ni first order linear differential equation. But in this, no, there are some difference lang, konti lang naman, which is nagko-consider na tayo ng y function natin on the other side of the equation. Unlike dito sa first order linear equation natin is that you only have q of x to satisfy the standard form. Okay? So dito, no, yun pa rin, ang nag-iba lang is this term of the equation. You have y prime plus p of x y is equal to q of x y raised to n, which is you have a variable y that has an exponent. So yung exponent na lang yan, yung exponent lang na yan, yung nagpapabago ng concept ng first order linear differential equation sa Bernoulli equation ninyo. So since we are considering a y variable that is raised to n, so ibig sabihin yung integrating factor ninyo is magbabago rin. That is e raised to the antiderivative of 1 minus n p of x dx. The same as to get your general solution, you have y raised to 1 minus n is equals to 1 over u of x times the antiderivative of 1 minus n u of x dx. Ibig sabihin, no, it is somehow no, the same concept for your first order differential equation. Nagdagdag lang ng konting touch yung Bernoulli differential equation considering that you have a variable with an exponent of it. So let us try to solve these equations no, para makita natin what is the difference ba nilang dalawa. Okay? So let us try this one. You have y prime plus 2 over xy is equals to x squared y cubed. So the same principle, let us try to check if it satisfies our standard form. So I think it satisfies. No? So your p of x here is 2 of x, your q of x here is x squared, and yung n natin is equivalent to 3, where your n is the exponent of your variable y on the other side of the equations natin. Okay? So let us try to solve for your integrating factor that is in this formula. Okay? So that is equivalent to e raised to the antiderivative of 1 minus 3 quantity of 2 over x dx. So before you integrate that one, let us try to simplify the equation. Okay? 1 minus 3, that is negative 2. So negative 2 multiplied by 2 over x, that is equivalent to negative 4 over x. So going back to the principle of your calculus, okay? So you already know that one. So you have e raised to negative 4 ln of x. So to simplify, no, yung r ln u is equals to ln ur. That is e ln x raised to negative 4. So since this one will be cancelled, therefore your integrating factor is equivalent to x raised to negative 4. Very good. So let us try to solve your general solution given by this equation, which is dinagdag lang natin ito at ito, no? From your first order linear differential equation formula. So that is equivalent to y raised to 1 minus 3 is equals to 1 over 1 x raised to 4 times the antiderivative of 1 minus 3 quantity x squared, quantity 1 over x raised to 4. So, kapag ganito, sobrang madami pang value. So, let us try to simplify it first before we integrate. Okay? So, you have y is equals to raised to negative 2 is equals to 1 over 1 x raised to 4. Dito, pakialaman lang natin, no? You have negative 2 from 1 minus 3 and you have 1 over x squared. Saan nanggaling itong 1 over x squared natin? That is from x squared times 1 over x raised to 4. Okay? So, cancel, may iwan x squared. So, nuggets? Okay. So, by this, we can now try to integrate our function. So, inverse function lang natin siya. Okay? That is equivalent to x raised to 4. Again, kapag in-inverse function natin yung x raised to negative 4. So, you have your negative 2, and then in-inverse function natin yung 1 over x squared. No, kasi, no, going back sa integral calculus ninyo, mas madali na kapag yung function of x ninyo is raised to the power of n, no, which is 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, mas madali siyang i-integrate kapag ini-inverse function natin siya. So, that would be equal to y raised to negative 2, x raised to 4, negative 2, and the antiderivative, that is x raised to negative 2 plus 1, divided by negative 2 plus 1 plus c, since we did integrate. So, simplifying, you will be having y raised to negative 2 is equals to x raised to 4, quantity 2x raised to negative 1 plus c. But I cannot accept that answer because I believe that this equation can be more simplified pa. Okay, so distributing the x raised to 4 inside the quantity, therefore you will be having y raised to negative 2 is equals to 2x cubed plus cx raised to 4. So I did try the inverse function of this one, no? Y negative 2, pangit yung magsulat. Y raised to negative 2, the inverse function of that one is 1 over y squared. Okay, equals to 2x cubed plus cx. So as much as possible, I want that our general solution will be in terms of variable y. So let us try to cross multiply kasi alam naman natin that your denominator here is also equal to 1. So 1 times 1, that is equivalent to 1. So 2x cubed plus 4x raised to 4 times y squared, this is equals to this term. Okay? But again, as I've told you earlier, I want that our equation is in terms of y. Therefore, let us try to divide both sides by 2x cubed plus cx. For kasi hindi naman natin to pwedeng i-transpose lang basta-basta, di ba? Ito, hindi yan pwede i-transpose. It's because walang operation in between. Hindi natin siya pwedeng ilipat lang agad dito. So, the least that we can do here is to divide both sides by 2x cubed plus cx raised to 4. So, by this one, this can be eliminated or that is equal to 1. For simplifying, no, you will have y squared is equals to 1 over 2x cubed plus cx raised to 4. So my question is, can you still simplify the equation? The answer is yes. No, I want to reduce or I want to deduct this y exponent here, no, sa taas natin. So what we are going to do ba? That is, ira-radical natin siya, both sides. Therefore, we can conclude that the general solution for the given problem is y is equals to the square root of 1 over 2x cubed plus cx raised to 4. Okay? So let us continue the last example for this discussion. So what if you have y prime plus 3x squared y plus 4x squared y squared? Okay, so for a while. Okay, so in this case, I think this is already in a standard form. Okay, so let us try to locate na lang your values in order for us to solve. So your p of x here is your 3x squared. Bakit hindi ko ba sinasali yung y? Di ba, ba't ba hindi ko sinasali yung y dito? Ba't hindi ko, di ba ito yon? Ba't ba hindi ko sinasali yung variable y dyan? Bakit ba? So the answer is, again, the value of your p and your q should be in a function of x only. So even if that is 3x squared of y, ang concern lang natin dito dapat is the function of x only. That is why we can conclude that your p of x here is 3x squared. Okay, so let us try to solve for your integrating factor. I mean, you have your q of x as 4x squared and your n is equivalent to 2. Saan ba natin tignan yung 2? Sa x dito ba? Diyan ba tayo ng base ng n natin? No. Nag-base tayo sa exponent ng variable y natin, which is equivalent to 2. The next is to solve for your integrating factor. So, apply lang natin yung mga nakuha natin. That is e raised to 1 minus 2 times 3x squared. So, simplifying the equation. Okay, so you have negative. Bakit negative na lang? 1 minus 2, that is negative 1. So, understandable that there is 1 there. So, since kapag 1 na lang, no, hindi na natin siya sinusulat. So, i-carry over lang natin yung nature niya. So, you have negative 3x squared. So, let us start to integrate that one. And I believe that is equivalent to negative 3x squared plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. Okay, so simplifying, you will have this one. You have negative x cubed. So my question is, ito na ba yung magiging value ng integrating factor natin? Because sa past 3 examples natin, always nakakancel ang e ninyo. Ito na ba yun, magiging integrating factor natin? The answer is yes. It's because wala kayong nakikitang ln na values natin. Kailan lang ba tayo nagkakaroon ng ln? It is kapag yung p of x ninyo is na value of function or fraction form. No? Kasi that is equivalent to 2 ln of x. So since yung ating p of x value is not in the fraction form, therefore, we can conclude that your integrating factor is equivalent to e raised to negative x cubed. Okay? So we did solve for your integrating factor. Next thing na gagawin natin is to solve for your general solution using this equation. So you need to memorize the equation, no? Itong equations na ito in order for you to solve the first order linear differential equation as well as the Bernoulli differential equation. So substituting the values, therefore ito yung magiging itsura ng ating equation. Okay? So let us try to simplify. So that is y raised to negative 1. Galing siya sa 1 minus 2. This one, you have a negative because you have 1 minus 2, 4x squared, and x raised to negative x cubed. Okay? So, sige, tingnan natin. So, dito, sa ating integration, sa antiderivative natin, we can still simplify this one before we integrate the values. The answer is no. So, ano yung concept na naiisip ninyo in order for you to solve the antiderivative at that term? Going back to your integral calculus. Okay? So, dito, ang gagawin natin is itatry natin siyang isolve using your antiderivative of your EU, which is equivalent to EU plus C. So, EU du, you have your E raised to negative x cubed. Your U there is negative x cubed. The simplifying, the derivative of that one is negative 3x squared of dx. Therefore, the value of your dx there is equivalent to du over negative 3 of x squared. So, ang gagawin natin ngayon is to apply the value. For a while. Okay, so as you can see, I will just transpose the value of your e raised to negative x cubed and dx sa values na nakuha natin. So this is just the principle of your integral calculus ha. So you have your eu times the dx. So for the next equation, ano ba yung value ng eu ninyo? That is just basically e raised to negative x cubed. And what is the value of your dx based on na-solve natin kanina? That is equivalent to du over negative 3x squared. Okay? So let us try to simplify our equation. Okay? So this one will be cancelled, which is yung x raised to negative 2 ninyo. 4x squared, hindi na maayos yung pagkakaano ng cancellation. Okay? So dito, no, that can be, hindi na naayos talaga. Ako na lang yung mag-cancel. So, e raised to negative x cubed, e raised to negative x cubed will be cancelled. 4x squared and 4x squared here will be cancelled since they are on the same term. So, ano na lang yung maiiwan for this value that is equivalent to, isulat ko ng maayos. Sige, nagloloko na yung Zoom. So, ulitin natin. Nagloloko na yung Zoom. Mapangit na siya. Okay? So again, ulitin natin to make clear natin. So you have your y raised to negative 1 is equals to 1 over x cubed times the antiderivative of negative 4x squared multiplied by e raised to negative x cubed multiplied by your du over negative 3x squared dx. So anong una natin gagawin? Let us try na lang ganito. I-simplify natin para mas makita ninyo. You have 1 over e raised to negative x cubed times the antiderivative of negative 4x squared multiplied by e negative x cubed multiplied by your du over negative 3x squared plus c. Ito pala yan dapat. First is, let us try to simplify the equation. So, sulat lang natin yung hindi maaapektuhan, which is this one. Mali yung na-cancel natin kanina. That is x cubed. So, cancel natin. So, if you have negative 4x squared multiplied by du over negative 3x squared, ano yung mangyayari? So, basically, yung mangyayari, that is just, makakancel yung negative, makakancel din yung x squared. Ganito kasi yan. You have negative e raised to x cubed multiplied by negative 4x squared divided by multiplied by du, kasi gawin ko siyang numerator, divided by negative 3x of squared. So, mangyayari, negative divided by negative, that is positive. 4x squared divided by 3x squared, that would be equivalent to 1 because x squared minus 2, that is x raised to 0, which is equivalent to 1. So, ang mangyayari, ang maiiwan na lang would be equivalent to 1 y raised to negative 1 over 1 e raised to negative x cubed times the antiderivative of e raised to negative x cubed times your 4/3. Ganon na lang yung naiiwan. I hope I'm making sense. Okay? So, balikan natin. Okay, ito na yung nangyayari. Okay, so since the antiderivative of your EU is just basically EU plus C also, no, parang walang nangyari. So that is just equal to 1 over y is equals to 1 over ex, 4/3 of e raised to negative x cubed plus c. So to simplify, let us try to distribute the values outside of your quantity. No? So this one will be eliminated. So para mas makita ninyo, sulat ko na lang siya. That is 1 over y is equals to 1 e raised to negative x cubed multiplied by 4/3 e raised to negative x cubed plus c. So if you are going to distribute this one inside our quantity, so ang mangyayari, you have e raised to negative x cubed divided by e raised to negative x cubed. So basically, that will be eliminated, diba? So therefore, you will be having 4/3 plus c over e raised to negative x cubed. Kasi itong dalawang to, i-distribute natin sa e raised to negative x cubed, i-distribute din natin siya sa c ninyo. Okay? Na-gets ba? So, simplifying, what is your general solution for this one? That is, nakalimutan ko yung 4/3 kanina. No? That is equivalent to y, 1 over y is equals to 4/3 plus 4/3 of cx raised to negative 3. But still, in terms of variable y, we can still simplify that one. We have 4/3 plus 4/3 c e x cubed. Ganyan ko na lang. No? That is isang term. Divide natin or multiply natin cross multiplication, no? Therefore, we can conclude kung we will try to use your algebra that your y is equivalent to 1 over 4/3 plus 4/3 of c e x raised to positive 3. No, if your answer is equivalent to in terms of c. Okay? So I think that is your general solution using the formula of your Bernoulli equation. So for your practice problem, I want you to solve the problem 3 and 4 for Bernoulli. Okay, I'll close my camera. Okay, please try to solve this one for Bernoulli. And the next one is for your first order differential equation. Submit that one in our LMS and I will consider your submission as your attendance for today's online classes. Okay, so that would be all, everyone. Thank you and God bless. So if you have any concern and clarification about the topic, so kindly message me on our group chat only. Okay, thank you everyone. God bless you.